You know, most of us, including myself, was to be preconditioned from the time we were born to exchange most of our time on this planet to a job. And as for me myself, as for me myself, I've through my 43 years of life, I worked a bunch of jobs. Some that I liked, some that I didn't like. But liking these jobs doesn't mean that I love them. And so throughout the years, I exchanged my time for money, thinking that I was going to get ahead. And what I did was I committed myself through all these years to doing this. And no one told me no one told me any different. And I continue to live my life this way and continue to keep living it, right? So I exchanged all my time and to just do the things that I know that I was supposed to do throughout my life. And in the midst of this, right, I saved, I did a lot, right? I did a lot, thinking I was at some point in time I was gonna get ahead. But what it did was it circled back around and the revolving door hit and it shut me in my face. I mean, it shut the door in my face in a major way, right? I had plans, but those plans got derailed based on the cost of living and everything else that comes along with it. And I, subjected myself to this throughout all these years, right? And I used to always say throughout the years, like, what am I doing with myself, right? Everything that I put in place, right? I'm saying, how come I'm not getting ahead? How come I'm not able to live comfortably? How come I don't have to? How come I'm how come I'm not in a situation where I don't have to worry so much? And this is me structuring stuff and putting stuff in place and putting these things in place. And I always ask myself, like, when I have to dip into this and dip into that, it just set me back a lot. And before I knew it, I had to start over. I had a lot of times when I had to start over a lot, and do it all over again. Thinking that I was going to be, get back into a good space where I was going to be able to live comfortably and not worry. Like, you're not going to have, your stress and things like that be taken completely away. But I wanted the majority of that to be taken away from me. And instead, it just increased. And so when I look up, here I am. It's been 35 years that I went by. And here I am back in the same position by no fault of my own because I structured all this stuff in place. And just asking myself over and over again, why? Because think about it. I exchanged this time, you know, and which is time you can't get back for multiple things, you know, thinking I'll be able to have some time. And like most of people in the world, they exchange their time for money and they make families. When they make families, they don't get a chance to spend a lot of time with those families because your time is spent in that job. And before you know it, your not getting the quality time with the children that you need to have, right? You get a certain window that you can spend time with them, but the majority of the time you spend the time at the job, right? So your kid or kids is raised up away from you. I mean, they're not raised up away from you, they're raised away from you, right? And you are away from them. And you can't get you really don't really get a chance to know your kid or kids because you're spending your time at the job. And so before you know it, your kid has raised. Although you live in a home with your kid was, if you think about it, your kid was raised in the home with a mother, if the mother was at home or whatever. Or let's just say if the mother's working, the kid is raised at school. So you don't really know. You know your kid, but you don't know your kid to know a lot of things because obviously you devoted your time to the workplace, right? To provide for that kid, to take care of that kid, right? And but no, you don't think about this stuff, right? Because if you do think about it, you don't have much time to think about it. So you just do these things, and you do it day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, and before you know it, be a month go by, 2 months go by, 3 months go by. Before you know it, 6 months go by, then a year, then 2 years, then 3 years, and so on and so forth. And before you know it, 10 years have went by, 15 years went by, and your kid had grew up. And for them being raised at school, they have become the young man or young woman of their own because you did what you could. They still listen to you as a parent, right? But they didn't know you. They didn't know that in-depth way of being by you being their mother or their father. So they listen to you, but you don't have that real closeness and dedicated time to spend with one another because you got a certain window that you can spend time, right? And you feel like that certain window that you can spend time with that boy or that girl, that's all the time that you need. And you do what you're supposed to do, and just continue the cycle over and over again, right? So what I'm trying to say is all that time is wasted, right? Being at somebody else's company, working for them, filling their pockets up because you got a strategic plan on what you're going to do, supposedly, to better yourself. And all of it goes up in smoke for nothing because you're looking for that job as for stability and to be able to take care of your bills and take care of your needs right there at this spot, at this point. But your job is never secure, right? And so, you go to the surest thing, right? It's never guaranteed. So you got to hustle your way to making sure you keep this job. And so, as I was saying before, that you wasted all these years, right? Wasted all these years being in this cycle, doing what you're doing. And before you know it, that time you cannot get back. Those years you cannot get back. And, we look up, 30, 36, 37, 38, and that time is gone, right? And you are coming into the back end of your life. And we all know that the body doesn't hold up. I mean, the body only holds up for a certain amount of time before it breaks down. And so you're just giving up damn near 50% up, or almost 50% up, of your life for these companies that you're working at, right? When you could be enjoying yourself, and I don't care if you got to figure it out, do what you got to do, but you're enjoying yourself and you're not spending so much time at these places, but you're carving out your path for yourself and you doing what you need to do and enjoying the ride as you go along with your life and not wasting years. You're actually fulfilling your years, even though you may not be able to see it. You're fulfilling your years because you're doing what you need to do and you're doing what you want to do to have a fulfilling life. And so, me, myself, I'm not going to spend the next back half of my life trying to hustle to be at these companies because it makes me look like a fool, make me look stupid. I don't care if people say, "Oh, you got to make the sacrifice to do this and do that," to get where you need to be. I mean, I've did all that for multiple years, right, with stuff structured in place, and here I am back at square one again, right, trying to figure it out, and never even made time for myself to even create the life that I needed or create the life that I want. And so, again, I'm not going to spend the next 40 years or even 10 or 15 years trying to recarve a path in my life when I should have been doing it a long time ago. Which nobody told me that, hey, man, don't be in this too long. If you're going to have a certain window and then get out of it. Because the end game is not a winning game. And so I never realized that until, you know, fast forward to later on down in the 2000s, like we're in now. Things have changed. I mean, things have changed and have changing and is continuously changing rapidly. And what I'm trying to say is that it's not ideal to be at no job working 10 or 12 hours a day, or even a 9 to 5 job, right? I'm going to be able to create my own path in whatever passion that I choose. I mean, not passion what I choose, but whatever passion that I'm interested in, I'm going to focus on that, right? I'm going to catch hell in the comments for this, but I'm here for it again, right? Everybody's not. Everybody, the world is unique. The world is different. Everybody's not going to agree with me, right? And I understand that. So I'm not trying to have a debate with you or anything like that. I'm just trying to touch you, to let you really think about, you know, about what you're doing, right? More so for the younger folks, because the younger folks, I believe this may resonate with them more, right? The older folks is different, right? They may have an opinion. I'm here for it to listen to it in the comments when you guys drop it down below. But yeah, I'm just here to just try to make you think and make you realize that it's not it, right? And for the majority of the people that are always telling me that, I'm crazy, I'm a fool because, you need a 9 to 5 to work this job. You need a 9 to 5 to secure your life and to get the things you need. No, you don't need to do that, right? And if you love what you do, I mean, not if you love what you do, right? Because if you love what you do, it doesn't become a job, right? And I know there's people out there that really love they really love what they do, right? So I'm not taking that from you guys. If you want to stay in that, go ahead, right? And for the people who just like their job, you may grow to love it, maybe. Hey, I'm not here to sit here and tell you any different, but I just want you to realize that don't commit to yourself. I mean, don't commit yourself to so many years at these companies, man. It's not. It doesn't end well with you. It doesn't end well at all, right? I mean, I had a plan. It didn't work out for me, but hopefully it works out for you guys. But if you can, just try to figure out a way to get out, because there's no end in sight in this. There's no end game with you winning or you getting ahead in life. It's nothing but stress, heartache, pain, misery, and agony in this. And if somebody tell you different, right? As opposed to the people that love what they do, that's different, right? But for those that understand what I just said, for those of you telling you the different, they're out of their damn minds. They're out of their damn minds. For you to think that what you're doing on a regular basis is beneficial. I mean, really, like, you got to really be in the clouds with this shit. You got to really be crazy to think this type of stuff, man. But hey, people will defend to the death. They will defend to the death because they know no other way. They can't see any other way. So they're going to defend it to the death, right? And I'll be willing to listen to the opinions, right? Hey, doesn't change my stance on what I believe and what path I'm carving for the next back half of my life. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it, right? I'm willing to work, right? But I'm willing to work for myself. I'm not willing to work at these companies anymore. Fuck these companies. They full of shit. It's bullshit all the way around. And so for the people who want to be able to target me and come after me saying, hey, I don't want to work, go ahead. I'll be willing to listen to it, right? Because again, even negative comments is welcome. But just know this, that I'm firm on what I say and what I stand on. And so yeah, give me your thoughts and comments, and you let me know that, from the title of this thumbnail, that is it worth you trading 40 or 50 years of your life to get ahead? Is it idealistic? Is it the thing to do? Right? I want to know this. I'm very curious because it's been on my mind, on my heart, and on my head today. Right? As well as other things that I'll talk about in the near future, with future videos. But yeah, let me know your comments. And so that's it. That's all I got for y'all today. And y'all be blessed. Take it easy and stay focused on whatever it is that you love to do, and stick to that and carve your own path, and don't let no one else tell you any different. I'm out.